In this video, we're going to talk more about understanding and predicting the effects of cannabis, how you might best predict or figure out what might work best for you or what a product might feel like. Everyone experiences the effects of cannabis differently. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know this already. I've stressed it through and through. What might produce a deep state of relaxation and bliss in one patient can produce anxiety and panic in another. Factors that can contribute to this experience include the patient's tolerance level and experience level with cannabis, the ratio or the amount of CBD relative to the amount of THC in the product, the dosage, that's typically the biggest culprit, setting and the mindset that the patient has before using the product, the cannabis strain, even things like nutrition and other foods that you've taken in at the same time can contribute to these effects. Now, over the years, cannabis growers have cultivated thousands of different cannabis strains. These come with funky names like Granddaddy Purple and Green Crack. And unless you've been using cannabis for a while, you probably have absolutely no idea what any of these names mean. And that's okay. We're going to give you some tools to help you figure it out. Each individual strain varies greatly on its cannabinoid content, its terpene content, and other phytochemicals in the plant, which all work together to contribute to your therapeutic effect. Strains have typically been classified into three major categories, and you will see these labels used in the dispensaries. They are sativa, hybrid, and indica. Now, while I'm going to go over these, I cannot stress to you how important it is to get these out of your language as quickly as you add them to your vocabulary. They don't really mean much anymore, but typically they're used to describe this. It's thought that cannabis strains that are classified as an indica are very much an indicouch type feeling. These are going to be more body dominant, heavier relaxation, more sedating, where strains that are labeled that sativa are more uplifting. Those are more energetic and cerebral in nature. Now, some people will think about that as being the high and the indica as being the stoned, but these labels really don't mean anything. So much of cannabis, pretty much thought to be almost all strains now, are actually a hybrid, a combination of these two genetics. And our understanding of what contributes to those strain effects is much further than just that genetic basis now. We understand that it's actually the terpenes in the plant that contribute to these different energy levels and different therapeutic benefits. So please don't get too stuck on that sativa hybrid indica label. Instead, as you gain more experience, start to learn more about terpenes and pay attention to the common terpenes in the products that work best for you. Some terpenes, like limonene, are going to be the terpene that's responsible for that energetic, uplifting nature. And terpenes like myrcene or lionol are going to be responsible for that sedating, calming nature. So it's much better way to describe cannabis as being either energizing or calming opposed to that sativa indica label. There is a resource called leafly.com, that has a strain database. Now you can type in all these funky names that you see in the dispensaries, and they're going to give you a breakdown. It uses images and it uses shapes and colors to help you visualize it. But it also gives you a rating on the energy level to help you predict if it's going to be more energetic or more calming. Now, the reason why it's so important to get not stuck into these labels is because there's a lot of just advice that's been given out over the years to cannabis users to avoid sativas if you have anxiety or mental health concerns. But a lot of the terpenes that are often found in those tend to be really great matches for people with mental health concerns. So often what happens is patients just block out a category of medicine that could potentially work really well for them without giving it an opportunity. The other thing, aside from terpenes, that contributes to the experience of a product and what cannabis might feel like is that CBD to THC ratio. If a product has more CBD than THC, it's unlikely that you'll experience a euphoria or an impairment. Whereas if a product has more THC than CBD, it's almost guaranteed, especially if you don't have a tolerance, that there'll be some level of impairment and euphoria there. So cannabis is very much a combination of factors to contribute to that effect. And outside of what's in that cannabis itself, the rest of that equation is you. Your own personal experience and tolerance to cannabis, the mindset that you go into it with, and just your own personal biochemistry is going to influence that effect. So the best thing that you can do is use your body as the gauge. Use your body as the tool. One of the things that I like to utilize is what we call an inner inventory. So before you take in cannabis, scan your body, get comfortable in a chair, and rate your breath on a scale of 1 to 10. How easy is it to take in a breath? And then rate it is on that same scale, 1 to 10, rate how easy it is to sit in your body and how comfortable you are in your skin. After you use your cannabis medicine, give it the appropriate amount of time to kick in, and then rate those things again. Use that as a gauge to figure out what's working for you and what might not work the best. Track it, journal it, and then use that to predict your medicine moving forward.